I usually don't preface my videos anymore like this, but I probably should make an exception for this one considering the very specific term Arnolds Park. I'm not trying to offend the citizens of Arnolds Park, Iowa, who strangely live in a city with the same name as its amusement park. It's, chicken and the egg situation, who came first. I'm just letting you know that after about a minute or so, I'm gonna start being kind of like a rude tourist, using profanity, that kind of thing. If you're looking for an actual vlog on Arnolds Park, in Arnolds Park, Iowa, go to like a channel like Canopy Coaster or something, because this isn't it, I promise. If you're still here, how you doing? So this is my trip that I just went on that was way too damn long. I thought I could do it. 13-day trip, 12 parks, 2,800 miles, 70 coasters, 10 states. I flew into Omaha, Nebraska, because it was the closest park to the first park that I needed to go to, the park called Arnolds Park in Arnolds Park. And as you can see in this kind of unsafe intersection, I guess that's why they're installing these lights that are not installed yet. Well, anyway, I forgot what I was saying for the rest of the sentence. Elcom to Olds and Emmett. To the left is the Legend, the roller coaster, which is like the entire reason I came to Iowa. I was originally going to go to Lost Island and Adventureland, but I'm just saving that for another trip to couple with the Missouris next year, I think. Because I had so much shit to do way up north where I normally don't get to go because I live in New Orleans where, there aren't any amusement parks. So right now we're arriving on a Saturday, and my previous knowledge of small regional parks is that even on a Saturday, it ain't gonna be too bad because just not that many people go to things like this. But when I saw how many effing freaking people were in this fucking park, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna wait for so long. I was partially right. The line for Legend was nothing, walk on, station wait at worst. But what we had to do is wait in a very long line in essentially a park that wasn't even really open yet. And they had like some local gathering market, family, something next to it that was not part of the amusement park, and we thought it was. And you're gonna see me walk through just way too many people, and I was like, oh my God. I really hope this isn't like a sign of how fucked the rest of this trip is gonna be in terms of crowds. I'll tell you what, on the trip that I took this year, compared to like the exact same time I went on a trip the 2 years prior, way more people are like, all right, this pandemic is officially over in my fucking brain. Let's go to amusement parks and packed crowds. And I think people are going pretty hard on it this year. Anyway, I don't know why I recorded all of this parking lot footage. I do know that it's something like 6 or 7 minutes into this video that you're actually going to see Arnolds Park, because this park is tiny as balls, man. How am I supposed to get a video over 10 minutes for, future ad revenue that I don't even have yet if I don't make the video long and shit? I mean, most people already tuned out anyway. I'm assuming I'm just talking to myself at this point. So we're crossing the road to go to, I still don't really know what the hell. I mean, I'm assuming like everyone who lives in this middle of nowhere nothing area, this is about one of the only things you can do other than go to your grocery store or something. I mean, I know I'm being ignorant and I know nothing about Arnolds Park other than Legend is here. I mean, that's really the only reason I'm here. They're big enough to have a museum at least. I did go in there and I was in there for about 9 seconds before I realized there is nothing that I will find valuable here as a bad tourist, like a one-track oriented piece of shit tourist like myself. We were only going to be here for 2 hours because this was going to be the first of 2 absolutely unnecessarily crazy days. We flew from the Omaha, Nebraska airport at jokes in the morning, 5 in the morning, some fucked up shit like that, to go to Arnolds Park. Even though it was the closest airport, it was still 3 freaking hours away, so it's not close is very much incorrect. There's Legend. I mean, the whole video is just about that. I could have probably shrank this video to 30 seconds, but whatever. And here's just the crowd of fucking people. Anyway, I interrupted myself. So this day, we drove hours to Arnolds Park, where we spent half the time waiting in this line you're about to see because, getting into the park was a real pain in every asshole. And then, we killed the park in about an hour after that, an hour and a half tops. And then we got back on the road to go north to Minnesota, where I haven't been since I was 8 years old. so we could hit Valley Fair, where we were forced to do a fast lane plus to even have a chance, and we knew that in advance. Like, all right, cough up the money, motherfucker. And we did that and somehow managed to get everything we wanted to do done. That's for the next video, I've already spoiled it. And then that same freaking night, we went to Nick Universe in the Mall of America and rode the bullshit there. I think that'll be the shortest video on this trip because really there's not much to record, but you know, whatever. You can only park from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Those are very weird reduced hours. You see, I just walking over to this, I'm just trying to dodge people. It's like families, I'm glad they enjoy themselves and their loved ones, but I don't want them in my face. I'm just trying to walk around all this shit. And, I'm just trying to get the legend and honestly, maybe a couple flats, get the fuck out. This park, I know that you can basically pay per ride or pay for a full wristband. And there was like an old flat or two we wanted to ride, and there's no way we're gonna go all this way to ride Legend once or even twice. So like, all right, the math checks out to where we have to spring for the entire wristband, you know, like 30 bucks, something like that. Nothing too crazy. But I mean, for a park this tiny, I'm glad it wasn't more money than that. Funland USA didn't go into any of that shit, I don't really know. So the line, I'm not cutting the line, I'm just panning into the little front of the park thing, because at this point, it looks like I'm about to walk to Legend. That's actual bullshit. We're gonna wait in line for almost an hour, like 50 minutes after this, and it's because I don't want to be insulting employees or anything, but that line was very slow. All those prices for season passes are hilarious. Who's gonna do that? That's too much money, man. Like, I guess, what do you mean who's gonna do that? This is like the only thing you can do in this area. Well, that's what you, makes sense. The money makes sense. When there's no competition, that's what you get. I mean, honestly, I'd love to have a place like Arnolds Park, amusement park, around my house instead of my local park, where the most interesting you can do is like sit under a cabana and have heat stroke. I mean, fuck, it's 100 degrees outside in Louisiana. Like, look, hey Google, what's the temperature outside?
The current temperature in Metairie is 98 degrees. Due to the current humidity,
fuck
it
that.
feels like it's 115.
It feels like it's 115. You heard that shit? So honestly, it's a real refuge to go to places like this in the north where the weather is still, you know, nice. Look at this. I'm punking my friend. It's like, let's just not ride Arnold's Park's Legend roller coaster because I want to record the rest of the amusement park first and end on that, because my video will be kind of a shitty video if I focus on the roller coaster and then downgrade to the flats. I mean, look at the flat, the left, Reckless. What is this piece of shit? These kids don't look like they're having any fun on that. That little girl's like, when does this ride end? I want to do literally anything else. This Ferris wheel, I didn't ride that, but I'm sure it's nice because the view, I'll be positive for a second or two. The view's really nice. I think this park is kind of like, the way I see it, there's Legend actually for the first time. 1930 roller coaster with buzz bars, freshly retracked, pretty good stuff. I'll talk to you more about that later. But anyway, so we're getting the rest of this kind of weird little amusement park right now, and ain't a lot to talk about. They had a freaking kiddie coaster thing, and it was closed, so I couldn't ride that. And there was another coaster that really the only coaster that was open was Legend, so I got 1 for 3 in here. But I mean, at least this wasn't the one that was closed, because if this was closed, I was gonna say the word fuck so many times. It's inappropriate. Anyway, you can see with that beautiful beach of the marina and all that good stuff. I kind of think that if any of you have been to Indiana Beach or saw videos on it or what have you, I think that if you had like if an amusement park was a Pokemon, Arnold's Park would evolve into Indiana Beach. Like, this feels like step 1 of 4 or 5 to become Indiana Beach or something. I mean, obviously it's, you know, in a neighboring state and all of that stuff, but it just feels like that kind of energy, I guess. But unlike Indiana Beach, which is genuinely a full day park, it's a badass park. This is like a 2-hour park. Like, let's be real, if that. I mean, these flats are, you know, garage sale flats, you know, Northwest Bank, they needed like a local bank to sponsor their roller coaster, Puck Drop, you know, like real attractions. The ATM, that's my favorite. Beat the bar. I'm gonna beat, I mean, I'm going to the bar, and the joke I was gonna say isn't gonna land. I can't salvage it. I'm gonna walk away and just accept my mistakes. So I think we're like mostly through the park at this point. It's not, you know, very exciting. And I want to say that, yeah, that bitch was closed, but Little America, which I went to later in the trip, had one of these, so it's not, you know, I mean, it's still worthy of a middle finger for sure. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to fucking show up and read the history of the wild mouse, but not right. Very out of service. Look, I'm important. Open that shit for me, man. Fuck. Northwest Bank again. We're walking backwards, and I think we're gonna go hit legend, I guess now. I don't know. Jumping star. I don't understand. I guess in this park it makes sense because it's like the only thing you can possibly do. But like in parks like Kings Island, big parks, what's the point of like these little concessions with like rigged games to win little Wish.com teddy bears and shit? Like, why do people play that crap? I don't understand. I mean, even if you're at the family with children, like, there's such better things to do exactly where you are. I don't know. That middle thing, I thought that was like another advertisement in the middle of the Ferris wheel. I couldn't even read what it said, but I thought it was like another Northwest Bank or some shit like that. Oh man, how many minutes are left in this? Wow, I only have to fill like 4 more minutes. It's so unusual for this fucking channel where I have to ramble for like 80, 90 minutes sometimes because I have to get the entire unedited walk on an amusement park with no editing, no skills. And since this is such a short park, if you were to remove the first, spam of 8 minutes that you just went through in this video, we've just covered an entire walkthrough of Arnolds Park, amusement park, in like 5 minutes. I mean, it's exciting, but here, look, this is good shit. There is another thing that is also good shit, that they let me record a POV. It's like one of like 2 POVs I got in the strip. I probably could have gotten more, but I'm not sitting here trying to like go to guest services and beg to be able to record shit that everyone's already recorded. It's the off-ride footage that you want to see. Just literally Canopy Coaster, Amusement Insider, all that. Just right, those are the real channels for POVs and all that, and reviews and all that. But look, check out these fucking buzz bars. Look at this. It protects absolutely nothing. That is how every wood coaster should be. Somebody made a spam. No, this was actually a good one. I didn't mean to use the word spam again. Someone made a shit post in a one train ops shit posting community on Facebook. You see how they don't care about phones? Like that guy's, using his phone too. I'm using a GoPro. I'm better or something. Anyway, I completely forgot what I was talking about. I'm gonna be angry at the end of the video. Anyway, let's just ride Legend right now. So yeah. This first drop, at first I was like, that's it, but it kind of grew on me. It's kind of like a mini first drop on Renegade or something like that, but like just nerfed a little, and it's smooth. It's glass smooth. It definitely doesn't feel like 1930, and thankfully with the buzz bar, you're good. Oh hey, I remember what I was talking about. In that shitpost group, they posted which coaster would benefit the most from buzz bars, and the shit posting just went rampant. They were like, oh, X2 and shit like that. But I thought the funniest response of all of those was also at Magic Mountain, which was to have buzz bars on Tatsu or like Manta or something, a flying coaster. Could you imagine buzz bars on that? So like when you sit in there and then it like lifts your ass to where you're in the flying position, you'll just face plant to the floor, get knocked out, and the fucking train will go without you. Like, that is a true buzz bar ride, man. I'd love to watch a video of that. Makes no sense at all. Anyway, I'm going to show you, I guess, one more POV of oh wow, I didn't record this part that I thought I did. I guess I'll talk about this other flat in the back there. I don't know if you saw it, but it's one of those spinning prison looking cell spinning things that you only see in dodgy state fairs and stuff. They have one of those here, and my friend really wanted to ride it, and I'm like, fuck, that sounds good. There were 2. They had like the Rolo plane thing, which was violent as fuck, that you could never have that in a real park. It hurts you, but it's good hurt. Love that. But the other one, which I think we're gonna see in this POV, so I'll talk about it as we pass it. It was easily the worst flat ride I ever had in my life, and it was so fucking funny. Let me point it out. Wait, we're about to drop and see it, I think. That mouse was closed. I don't like that. No, that yellow, blue, red, green, that stupid shit. So the thing was faulting. We had a guy working on the board as we were riding it. It spun one time, 8 seconds into the ride, and the cycle was 15 actual unsarcastic minutes. It felt like I was in jail. It was just like blue balling a spin that it never made, and we were just stuck there like, let us out. I want to get off this ride, just like on Roller Coaster Tycoon. I do not want to get off this ride. Arnolds Park has a great roller coaster called Legend. I'm glad I visited it, and and this video's over, yay.